Amanya Nandudu, the National Coordinator of the National Slum Federation of Uganda. It's a bingira mu group bagiyita tuyamba court members to unite, that is BAMU. It is an Amber Court Market. In 2002, that is 2002, the National Slum Federation of Uganda was given birth. And this came into its being when Jokin, who was, because he's now the late, the focal person or the president of Slum Dwellers International, developed an idea of mobilizing communities of the urban poor, specifically in India. And basically he was looking at pavement dwellers and railway dwellers. People who have been to India, these are people who are marginalized communities and they were homeless. They could only find a home where there was a small space for them to be. So Jokin, I would say this was God-given insight, that he started a movement of pavement dwellers, mobilizing them and saying, I think God can change this lifestyle. So he mobilized them into the Federation of the National Slum Federation of India. And by so doing, these people are mobilized to get together, and besides collecting savings into their saving groups, they were also to collect numbers of how many are they, and then make a tool which was supposed to be used as a lobbying tool to the government to resettle these communities.
About 3,000 families to be rehabilitated in this kind of scheme.
He went into mobilizing women. These are called Mahila Milani women in India. And these are women who are also marginalized communities in slums. And the essence behind it was that they were to forge a way to negotiate with the government, one, to provide sanitation and water, because slums were uninhabitable, that conditions were forcing them to stay there. In 1996, Jokin moved on to South Africa, where he mobilized the Federation of South Africa. And all of us who know South Africa is one of the cities with so many slums. After doing that, he felt he should bring across the entire continent this movement. And in 2002, finally they landed in Uganda through Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, as well as the then KCC, which is Kampala capital city. And so together they mobilized the first communities in Uganda. That was in Chisenyi 3, and then Kamuli Road in Jinja, and then Chimaka in Jinja. So these three settlements were the pioneers of the Federation in 2002. Through KCC, they had to close partnership with communities and Slum Dwellers International, and they raised the resources to build the first sanitation to do as a precedent-setting project in the country. And that was Chisenyi 3, where they set up, we call it a three-star toilet, because it has a sanitation, and a community hall, and a caretaker's house. However, after completion of the sanitation block, the community started, of course, engaging other key stakeholders. And because of that, SDI realized that there was need to create an NGO that would support the process, because by then the ministry, I think, was not able to take up this mantle of making sure that the communities are mobilized and strong enough. So this gave birth to Act Together Uganda, which is an NGO which was given birth to support the National Slum Federation of Uganda. And the Federation by then participated in formulating this NGO. In 2010, with the strong NGO which is Act Together Uganda, National Slum Federation of Uganda became a fully-fledged federation recognized by SDI, because one of the criteria for a federation to be cleared mature federation by SDI. And then another criteria was to make sure that you have to practice all the rituals of SDI. That was enumeration and profiling and mapping. You have to do service, you have to do advocacy, you have to do projects, and you have to be able to save to a national fund, which is a national urban poor fund. So in this process of profiling settlements that are going to be upgraded or transformed, were able to mobilize massive communities or leaders or federation groups that eventually grew up to form networks. In networks, they formed the regional federations. For example, Mbale is a region as to our process. Kabale is a region compared to looking at how we do work. So they formed the regional federations, and by 2011 beginning, we had a fully fledged federation which had grassroots saving groups, networks, regions, as well as the national leadership. I want to believe that in time to come, we are yet to make a strong bond that has to be embedded in government systems. No one will be able to ask who are these, but to be able to understand that we are partners in the work movement. Thank you very much, and I want to say thanks to Act Together Uganda, National Slum Federation of Uganda, SDI in general, for having given us this courage, for having given us the support, for having given the support from various communities to stand and strong, to be empowered, to ask their rights as we do now. I say this for